Hey guys, this is a WFL breakdown. I'm Winuvas, one of the leadership team here, and Neonsports not being currently available to us at this time, we're instituting a temporary method around scheduling that we're asking all owners to participate in. So this has become a mandatory watch. Normally these things are kind of optional, but this one's mandatory at least until we get Neonsports integration fully into the game through the companion app. What you're going to do, and I'm going to show you in Discord, and I have my phone on standby, but whenever I have the screen pulled up, you won't see me on my phone. But I want to kind of talk through both on the phone, on a mobile device, and on the web interface, how you go about doing scheduling for us until we get Neonsports integration into the ballpark. I'm going to bring up my Discord right now, and my Discord's been blowing up, so you have to excuse me if stuff's dinging and but beeping as you go because we are starting on Friday. You can see here I'm currently in the WFL scheduling area. That's where you will need to go to take care of this little matter. Okay, and what you'll do while you're in the scheduling area here is if you look at the top, let me get in there on my end. If you look up here, you'll see where I've got highlighted threads. On a mobile device, when you go under the scheduling area, you'll see WFL schedule at the top. Now this is on an Android device. I'm sure Apple and the app works the same way, but at the top you should see WFL schedule, and then you'll see a button that looks very similar to the one I'm hovered over, and that is threads. What you're going to do is you're going to either click on that or tap that on your phone to basically start threads, and you'll see a list of threads you're joined to. Now, obviously, as the commissioner of the league, I have a ton of threads. You probably won't have hardly any, quite honestly. But just so you know, this is what it's going to look like. And what you're going to do is on the phone app, what you'll do is in the top right corner, you'll see a plus. You'll tap that to start a new thread. On the web app, you'll see the option to create a button right here. You'll create there, and it'll bring it over to this side. Either way, now at this point, pretty much it's the same. So I'm going to exit out of my phone real quick and get you in. Basically, either way, it's going to be the same. Here's what we're wanting as a standard for scheduling as we move forward. The first thing we need to state is that we want the home team to start this thread. So if you're the home team for that week, for the first 24 hours of the 36-hour period in which you have to schedule, the home team is responsible for starting this thread. And this is going to be an example piece, so do bear in mind I'm going to put the word example in front of it just to kind of quarantine it off. You would not put example at the front of yours, but essentially week 1, Cardinals versus, I'm trying to remember who I play. I think it's Commanders. Okay, you will put the week. You will put the name of the team that you are and the name of the team you are playing in the thread. That will be the thread. The week number, your team, and the team you're playing. You can make it a private thread if you want to. You do not have to, however, because threads are set up to disappear by default after 3 days of inactivity. But essentially in the thread, you will either tap or type, depending on what type of application you're using, whether it's mobile or whether it's the web browser interface, or in my case, the desktop laptop application. You will tag your opponent. You will tag the scheduling guru, so WFL scheduler, which is spelled terribly. And essentially at this point, you will type your availability for a week. So for example, I am available. So if we're starting, say, Sunday, I'm not real sure when we're starting, to be fair. It's going to be something close to that. I'm available Monday after 1 p.m. CST, Tuesday after 1 p.m. CST until, say, 5:30 CST. I'm on a real limited time schedule, so it's going to be tough for me to get games in. But this is what you would type in to essentially set up your schedule. And you would hit enter. Okay, I am not going to hit enter in this example video because I don't want it to pop up as a thread, and I don't want to notify the Commanders and Waffles that we have a game when in reality we don't yet. So that's just for neither here nor there. But this is the requirement going forward as far as until we get Neonsports scheduling, when we can do it automatically ourselves as leadership. Owners, you will be responsible for this, okay? The first 24 hours, the home team for that week is responsible for starting the thread. If after 24 hours the away team has not heard anything from the home team, that point they can begin the thread. Only after 24 hours have passed should the away team begin a thread. The reason for that's real simple. We don't want both teams creating threads and creating even more chaos and confusion. So home team responsible for starting the thread for the first 24 hours. After 24 hours, the away team can start the thread. And make sure you tag your opponent, tag the WFL scheduler, and list all the times you are available to play. Do not, and I'm going to come back on camera for this one because I've pretty much shown you all you need to see in Discord. Do not say the following in your statement. When can you play? We are all adults here. Most of us are at least in our 20s to 30s. Some of us in our 40s. Some of us in our 50s. We have one guy who's even in our 60s. We're all adults. We all can make a schedule. Do not come out with the phrase, when can you play? Tell me some times, tell me some days, and let me match up with your schedule if I can. If I can't, then I will let you know, and you can go to autopilot, or I would go to autopilot if I can't make the schedule. Whatever we have to do to make that work, but do not start or respond to a thread with, when can you play? I always want to see times when you can play, okay? If you can't play at all, then just say, I can't play this week, or say, my times are limited. What are your times? Okay, that's much better than saying, when can you play? Okay, if you have to work on somebody else's schedule, tell them that. I have to work around your schedule. What is your schedule? And I'll see if I can fit it in. Do not say, when can you play? I promise you, the scheduler, who is our Raiders owner, hates that, and I do too. So put in times and days you can play during the advanced schedule. Every week we will announce the advanced schedule, when the deadline is to post your availability, and when the deadline is for advance. You will know what days we are having available for your week to play. Fit them in as best you can. If you can't, notify your opponent and tell them how you can work around their schedule, or if you can. Use your words in communication, okay? That is the big thing here. Leadership at this point cannot hold your hands and make your threads for you. You are going to have to make the threads yourself. If you have issues with this, please let a member of leadership know. We'll do what we can for you and try and help out where we can, but we can't make promises. We are also doing our own thing with our own teams. And yes, usually Neonsports helps us tremendously in scheduling and gets everybody on board and gets everybody easily into their threads. We are without Neonsports, as I stated earlier in our video about basically us starting up on Friday, September 8th. As of recording of this video, September 7th of 2023, if you really care that far. So this is the process. I'm going to bring it back up on screen. The process is simple. You go to threads, which I've highlighted. You should see it highlighted on screen. Again, it looks identical on a mobile device. It will be at the top of the channel you are in. Make sure you are in the WFL/schedule channel. Okay, when you do create a new thread, it will pop up to the side, or it will pop up in a separate window on mobile. Type in what week it is that we are playing, your opponent and your team, and then in the thread itself you're going to put the team, you're going to tag the team you're playing, you're going to tag the WFL scheduler, you're going to list a series of times, or state that you're going to have to work around somebody else's times that week, and then from there the dialogue can commence, and the WFL scheduler can make a final call as to who has done the best amount of communication, who deserves force wins if anything, who deserves straight sims if anything. We can all go through that process and be able to notify it. If you do not tag the scheduler, we won't see the thread. So if you have issues scheduling with a person and you don't tag the scheduler, we assume that no thread has been created, and therefore we will award a straight sim even if you've been busting balls trying to communicate. So once again, tag the scheduler, tag your opponent, put your times available that you can play, and in the thread name, put the week the game is occurring. So week 1 in this case. Put your team name, put your opponent's name as far as their team in there, so that way we know exactly what game you're scheduling for, we know exactly what week you're scheduling for, and we can look in there as the scheduler, because I get that notification as well as the scheduler, the official scheduler, so we can see what's going on and what's communicated. But if you don't tag us, we can't see it. Okay, so that's all I've got. That's going to be our scheduling plan going forward until Neonsports is integrated. Again, this is going to put the onus on a lot of you guys to create these threads and keep up with them and make sure we are involved somewhat in the process as far as notifications go. This is an unhelpable process due to the fact we don't have Neonsports integration. Yes, we're going to push more of the onus on you. I do apologize for that. Normally, we love doing the wonderful Neonsports create threads and have everybody just be auto-populated in there. We don't have that luxury. So in lieu of having luxury, we are down to tough times. You're going to have to do the work yourself. You're going to have to put in the legwork and put in the effort on your own. Okay, just be sure you follow those minimum requirements, which I've gone over multiple times in this video, and be sure you follow them every single week until we get Neonsports integration. We're hoping it's sooner rather than later, but get into this habit now. As soon as Neonsports integration is available to us and we can integrate fully, this process will drop and you won't have to worry about it anymore. But until it does drop and we do get access to Neonsports, this is our process for scheduling. And once again, do remember, if you have scheduling issues, even if we are using an oddball process or an oddball to you process, this can get you removed from the WFL. So if you have any issues with it or any sort of hang-ups with it, let somebody know as soon as possible. But once again, do be aware that we are all busy. We all have our own things going on. We all have our own teams, our own things to worry about. So we'll have to put in a little more effort, at least until we get Neonsports integration into place, okay? That's been it. This is a short breakdown. This is not going to be a super long video, but I do encourage you to watch it through to the end. I'm Winuvas, one of the leadership team here in the WFL. This has been a WFL breakdown on our scheduling without Neonsports, at least until Neonsports is integrated. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you as always, guys. Have a good one.